situation, things kind of change. And how do you adapt to that? Now, speaking of adapting, it's time to see how these teams adapt jumping into this final grouping. It's A versus C on Purgatory. Who is going where? Who is going to take the high tier loot zone? And are we seeing any hot drops?
Well, we're seeing plenty of drops happening here onto the Fire Brigade and Central there. We see Farang, Axis, and Sem9 within range there. I think Axis will be making their way across the river, though, towards the golf course area.
I love how nobody went to Quarry.
I know, right? I mean, to be fair, it was a little bit out of the way of the flight path. So,
Yeah.
but then nevertheless, the teams that do land on that western side island certainly will have a chance to try to tackle on the quarry zone. But Axis looks like they're already locked in battle right now with Farang on their side of the island here, though. Too bad, trying his very best to hold his own while Glue Wall keeps him from being able to get a shot in.
I think it's a bit of an awkward position for Farang. Like, they're not even in the compound. They're on the outside. And if they don't win this firefight, this is going to be them coming out with casualties. Farang, they've got no cover. Too bad.
Two down. But, I mean, conversely, though, Axis also has 2 people down at the moment, though. They do bring that exact 6-6 Raph. Unfortunately, has to bite the dirt right now, as Farang still loses another there in the form of Jembo right now. And Flame 7 brings 6-6 Raph back through the revive point right now, just in time as well, because Spade gets taken out. I think Farang has very handily lost this fight right now. Very much Axis wins it out.
Yeah, Baya, I think he's the only survivor on the team as well, so he's going to be all alone, even though they tried to go for some of those funky plays. So Axis happy with themselves. Farang has actually managed to squeak their way over to the high tier loot zone, interestingly enough. Evos never went in.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Strange. Okay.
I mean, first, what's it, FR right now makes their way into the blue zone now to try to get some good loot. In the meantime, Heavy as well as King of Gamers down to 1 member in their squad here. It looks like Heavy, they dropped in the northwestern side, whereas King of Gamers, I think they were dropping on the northeastern side there. So whichever encounter they had in that place there certainly didn't work out for them.
Looks like Evos, to be honest. Like, that's the closest team to King of Gamers so far. So pretty unfortunate. I mean, I think I mentioned this earlier in the broadcast. So I think out of all the teams from Thailand, King of Gamers has really struggled in the tournament so far, right? Thailand has really flexed their muscles. Most of the teams have, or at least almost all of them actually, have been outstanding. They've been far ahead of the competition. It's just, I'm not sure what's really happened here with King of Gamers.
I mean, that's something they're going to have to investigate very much after this competition here.
Yeah, after week 1, I think they're going to have to consider what went wrong.
Yeah.
How can they fix it? Is it where they're dropping? Is it their engagements? Is it the way that they're trying to approach the game? Should they focus more on placements or kills? It's hard to say because we don't really see much of King of Gamers, right? Like, by the time we do see them, the team is generally out of the competition. Speaking of out, Heavy is possibly going to lose a player here because he's all alone.
He's all alone. Stop actually has his teammates as backup, and he's just looking to try to get this kill here. A little bit of ring around the rosy here, and Stop unfortunately can't get the shot onto this last member of Heavy, Fudai. Fudai is just going to try to hide behind the tree right now. Stop. He doesn't have any more glue walls to use, neither grenades, but Fudai gets caught out from the outside from free FW God right around there. So the rest of NGS came in to just finish off this last member of Heavy, but it still has
Tom.
No, actually, he managed to buy back the rest of his team. So Tom, XC, Milna, and Buffalo are back in play here. So even though they lose out Fudai, they still are in play though. As long as they can stay out of trouble, Caramel spots out Mil now, just down by the valley here, and I think they might be taken down. Yes, he does. He gets taken out thanks to the scoped rifle right now, and NGX getting 2 kills for the day, just for the low price of free.
I mean, they're getting extra kills out of it, right? Like they forced Heavy out, and then Heavy's like, we're going to revive people. It's like, oh, more kills for us, no problem. It's okay. But aside that engagement, though, we're not really seeing any of the other teams crossing paths. Like, I mean, there's a possibility of Heavy maybe running into SPS. But besides that, I think the only engagement we might see is first Raiders maybe running into Axis. But the danger zone is up, so Axis wouldn't even want to go in there.
That's the thing, and they're still across from the river from where this next circle possibly might be.
Water circle?
Water circle? Oh,
Water
that might be a
circle.
good proposition, actually. If that happens, then that's going to put first Raiders in play for sure, because they're already close to where the river mouth is. So
Yeah, I can understand why some of the teams are currently not wanting to move, because they are anticipating the water circle and they want to make sure that they are on the right side of the river, right? Because one of the worst feelings in the world is that it's a water circle and the circle is on the other side of the river. You can't hide underwater. There's no submarine. They don't really have a clear way to cross water and free fire, so you kind of have to guess or hope that you're on the right side all the time. So, I mean, I'm surprised Sem9 are still sort of occupying this section of the map, but I guess they are focusing on looting because it's still pretty early. It's only the first circle.
I think they're the only team really to be looting around Fire Brigade after like Axis left the area. But we can see Axis actually crossing the river now, as the next circle is going to be showing itself very soon. Right now, SES very much on the outskirts of this next circle. Not going to be the water circle this time. It's still very much on land, but it's centered around Brasilia and fields. So that does mean that Axis, Sem9, first responders already made their way across the river now, and might just be within range of meeting up with NGX.
Might be. We'll have to see what happens here for now. But Sem9, they will cross over the bridge, so it's going to be pretty safe for them. And Axis will be able to loot the island for free. Now we've got First Raiders moving up towards the northern side. Now they might run into SES here. This is going to be a pretty interesting fight too, because SES, they are sort of the leaders for Group C. Can they maintain their status quo as one of the alpha teams? We'll have to find out in just a second. Unless NGX decide to stick their nose into everybody's business, because so far they're sticking their nose into MDH.
Yeah, and they're keeping them scattered right now. Stop trying to go in front. Tries to stop this one member in his trap, but the glue walls come out just as fast as he tries to shoot him down. Fine, he does get the shot though. And MDH right now is down to Don't Cry, the last member left here, has already run all the way out to the outside. Does bring the buybacks for the rest of his team. So hopefully that will bring MDH back into this next circle. But it's certainly going to be starting from scratch.
Yes, from scratch with nothing in their inventories. I mean, it kind of hurts, but it's better than having just one person left,
that
right?
UAV is going to get so much data right now. It's going over first Raiders, and then now over SES. Kind of misses Evos there.
Yeah.
But that's already more than enough information to know that this western side is very much stacked on Ray at the moment, trying to get some shots onto first Raiders here. Eclipse had a little bit of an angle there, but then certainly making it as hard as possible for them to respond back. And we can see first Raiders literally just peeling out, choosing instead to go towards the center of the circle, where more of the fights seem to be happening. And speaking of that fights, VGM right now locked in battle with KOG. The KOG still has 3 members to go here, as they already managed to bring the buybacks coming into this round here. But VGX very much trying to keep them gate kept around the edge of the circle. Meantime, Evos, this is Phoenix here, trying to fight against NGX within the center of Brasilia, trying to send a grenade out there. Does get a bit of a hit onto Dew. That's bringing him down to about halfway of his health here, and that's giving them an initiative now to try to move in on his position. Now, glue walls are still set up inside the house, so it's going to be a bit hard for them to fight hand-to-hand within that first floor. So they're going to try to flush him out with extra grenades sent in, but he got to watch out as well. But the other members of NGX, because Caramel sends a grenade out to put God down on the ground. They're just going to try to run over the rest of Evos here as Stop comes out. He's going to try to find one more member here. He finds it around the edge of the glue wall. Oh, just barely gets a shot in before Joanna puts him down for the count and takes him out completely. Now, Nero is getting into the mix as well. MDH hears all the shots coming in. They realize they could be playing a part in here. So 3-way battle now. And Farang also dropping in onto Brasilia. Now, this 2-way battle now is turned into a 4-way, and it's getting very, very crowded here out in Brasilia.
Yeah, and there's no buy points within that compound either, so the teams are sort of stuck here, especially Evos. They're not going to be able to bring their team back into that fold. So now it's going to be a matter of who's going to be able to defend their compounds and who can maybe invade and put themselves in a better position, because so far everyone is so dead set on taking one of these buildings because it is prime real estate right now. But we have to also consider some of the other teams. Heavy's currently spread out. We do have SES coming in from the northwest. There we go, northwest side. But EVOS. Now, EVOS Divine is coming in from the northern side, and it's pretty clear so far. But on the eastern side, you can see that V Gaming are actually wanting to jump into this fight as well, but they also need to fend off First Raiders, who are also looking to try and get into this inner circle. Sem9 finally coming into the picture from the eastern side as well, and it looks clear because right now Farang is busy with Axis.
And that's the thing, the fight is just going to continue on the southern side of the circle here while everyone else is piling in here slowly from the blue zones. Moshi in a moment is going to be caught in a bit of a tight spot here. He sets up the glue walls here to try to keep them in a safe spot here in this corner. But now that the circle is closed in around them, they're only lucky that this next circle still lands on top of them for now. MDH though trying to make some maneuvers here, getting up into the next floor, trying to spot the other teams, trying to make way into the circle while NJS tries to hold their own against Heavy, who's getting themselves in a mix. We can see shots sent all around. SES also finding a member of Buffalo from Heavy there on the outside, on the outskirts of the blue zone. So that's already another kill going the way of SES Alphank. In the meantime, Caramel continuing to try to use his vantage point here to shoot at any teams that try to get within range of this next circle here. And NJS really wants to try to hold this position here because it's the only complex that really provides a good view of the overall circle here.
Oh my gosh, so many bodies are hitting the ground. There's so many red names. King of Gamers actually surprised that this team is still alive, going to be on the high ground. They do want to contest with EVOS here. This is EVOS Divine. On the high ground, there's no... You basically got to rely on all your glue walls here. There's only a couple trees to work with, but they are going to go in for that rush here. SES on the other side being taken down by Enigma Galaxy. SES Day. G'day's actually going to be going down. King of Gamers, surprised. I mean, they've got one kill to their name. Is this team going to be able to accomplish much after this, though? Because, Victor, 12 teams are still alive.
12 teams are still alive? That's a surprising thing, isn't it? Like, we're literally almost at the final circle now, and we still have all the teams still active here. It could still be anyone's game at this point. Now, we are seeing that this next circle here is looking a little bit rough for those people who are still on the northern side here, because you can see that hill kind of formation is giving a bit of advantage to some of the other teams. Now, we see VGM already inside the compound right in the middle of Brasilia, which is where this next circle is ending up, and we can see EVO's Divine just making the way towards there, using the vehicles as a slight bit of cover as Axis meantime trying to fight against Sem9 here, door to door, man to man, hand to hand right now. The two teams collapse onto each other. Sem9 getting double kills here, and Axis first team to get eliminated.
Hello, first team. How is this even happening? We are coming in towards our fifth circle in just a second, but there we go. Heavy, second team going to be eliminated. There's just not enough real estate on the field here for all of these teams. But right now, MTH comfortable with their compound. Oh no, FR Eclipse going to be the next team to be going down as well. And EVOS Divine losing players left, right, and center. But so far, MTH, they're not really being forced to be pushed out at all. SCS Alphank, next team to drop. So many teams are dropping so far. Look how quiet it is. There's just nothing happening for MTH. But Enigma Galaxy on the rooftop trying to pop some heads if they can find any. But so far, not lucky with any of these pixels. None of them are coming out to play, Victor.
VGM also getting themselves taken out, so the next one to fall here, 17 still remain. Caramel having perfect vantage point here to shoot at MDH to try to run across to the next building across. Fortunately for them, none of them get knocked out, though they do take quite a bit of damage. Caramel now gets down onto the ground here to join up with his teammate here to see if they can secure their building for so far. EVO's Divine gets knocked out here with Sem9, gets some shots onto Farang and EVO's Phoenix. That's certainly going to be doing a number for them, because EVO's Phoenix doesn't look like they're going to be long for this world, with Moshi, the last person left, standing for that. He's going to get taken down. Good shot there with a grenade from Caramel, and now that's going to be EVO's Phoenix out for the count. 5 teams still remaining, still a very crowded circle here. The Plum Complex providing a little bit of cover, but then now with the Blues are coming in there, Farang is the next one to fall, with Nuke getting a good shot there with his shotgun.
This game is now wide open because EVO's Phoenix are now out of the picture now. This does mean that Enigma Galaxy could potentially be looking for the Booyah here, but are they in position to do so? MDH, they're still sitting in that compound, but they need to move. The circle is getting so small, and the damage from it is just too much to deal with. Nuke, the last player left here for MDH, he's right next to Enigma Galaxy, and he gets Feel God. They're going to try and go for the backup. Can they finish him off? Their Nuke is still alive. He's blocked them in. That's some free damage for him, but can he heal up, though? They've broken the glue wall. It's Nuke versus 2. MDH down by Enigma Galaxy. 2 players left. It's going to be down to Caramel and do Sem9, the next team to go down. King of Gamers! They are come. What's going only 2v2. Can they do it, Victor?
Oh, they're gonna try though, but then they do get the one knockdown here. There's still 2 members. The King of Game is still alive though, so it's still 2v2. Caramel trying his very best to fight here. Osaka gets kicked down. I think Nigma Galaxy has done it. Nigma Galaxy, have they taken that? Yes, they have. Nigma Galaxy finally gets the booyah that they were looking for.
Their first booyah. I don't know how many times that they have been denied up until this point, but look at how the guys are just like, yeah, like the slowest, yeah. There we go. They're like, oh wait, we got to cheer. Let's go.
Probably didn't want to wake up the neighbors actually.
Celebratory drink of water.
Yeah, stay hydrated, my homies. But Nigma Galaxy, they were on the verge of getting that booyah for so long now. So glad that they finally managed to get it in this round here. And boy, what a chaotic round I have to say though.
12